patents in general are pretty easy to get. Patents to defend them are really hard. To enforce them is even harder. So again, what we have to look at is, I'm sorry, big agriculture. How many patents do they have on traditionally bred lines? None. Breeders' rights. They would patent things that are genetically modified because it's a very specific methodology and it's a very specific creation. So if I was going to GMO a plant, I would patent it. But if I was going to breed it, I would go for traditional breeders' rights, which exist in every country and is the thing that everybody has ever done. And so it's a huge red flag that somebody that didn't even breed that plant claimed ownership on it, and now there's another patent in which actually claims ownership on any cannabis plant under 0.3. Go ahead, take that. I have 10,000 different lines under 0.3 growing in my fields right now, doing selections on scale like Marcus is talking about. Come try and fight me in court, especially when I release those in Cambodia.
There's
like,
two sides to it.
Breeders' rights, you should not get a patent. And that's the way that agriculture has worked forever.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
working like that in all of our lives.
It's going to work that way. The Supreme Court of Canada, for instance, if someone comes in with Charlotte's Web and says no one else can grow high CBD hemp in Canada, the Supreme Court of Canada will say, they'll just laugh at them. Right? Like, because they'll say you don't have breeders' rights on this, and even if you did have breeders' rights on this, that would only protect your breed for 25 years. It doesn't utility blanket the space from anyone else participating in it, which is what big corporations are trying to do right now. They're just trying to pigeonhole other people from getting into the game. They're not really trying to protect their own IP, because the reality is, Marcus and everyone up here will say, if you got the good shit and you got the fire, you're sold out, and your only concern is growing more of it. You're not worried about submitting plant patents or any of that. In Charlotte's Web case, yes, but if you actually look, I mean, it's funny, Charlotte's Web claimed the first plant cannabis patent in the world, and it's not true. Phylos Bioscience with NAPRO Research got the first patent 3 years ago on a line that they bred that was high beta caryophyllene, and they said any beta caryophyllene dominant plant now they own. Now that's bullshit. I'm sorry. They did a good job breeding. They showed 7 generations of breeding, but they should have gone for plant breeders' rights on the strains they created out of that. By going for patents, it was an immediate red flag as to what these guys were really all about. I'm sorry. And when you start to look at deeper,
why do you think they went for beta caryophyllene? It's the most dominant terpene.
Next to myrcene.
It's actually the one they train drug dogs to sniff cannabis.
Yeah. So they can actually come after anyone who's got a dominant beta caryophyllene strain based on the patent they have in America, which is probably almost every dispensary. So there are these blanket utility patents that are essentially trying to prevent other people from getting into the space. But at the end of the day, we should all be taking a page from GW Pharmaceuticals, because they didn't patent their plants. They got them from Dave, and what did they do? They mixed them together at an undisclosed ratio that you'll never know, and they patented the formulation coming off of that. And they showed time and time again it's the exact same thing. And if you don't have those genetics, and if you don't know their extraction process and what they're mixing together, you'll never be able to recreate exactly what they have. And that's how they got IP control over their formulation that no one else can piggyback on. And formulation patents are way better than plant patents ever will be.